this is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
The stakes have never been higher. The competition has never been stronger. 42 drivers, 25 rounds. One will be crowned champion. Competition. Commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. You're watching the premier American Open Wheel Series on iRacing. The Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by First Medical Equipment starts now.
Sponsored by First Medical Equipment. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. Streaming cyberspace into your place from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the Global SimRacing Channel brings you round 15 coverage of the Lionheart IndyCar Series 2019 Championship. Now, earlier this season, Adam Blocker set a Lionheart record by becoming the first driver in series history to win 3 consecutive races. However, for many purists, that record sports an asterisk, because 2 of those wins were a doubleheader sweep at Belle Island. Like a tattoo of your ex-wife's name, an asterisk on a record is best removed. And tonight, Blocker has the chance to do just that. With Blocker victorious the last 2 times out at Barber and Monza, last season's Charlotte winner and Blocker's closest competition in the points, Dan Guerin, would like to see that asteriskectomy rescheduled. Will there be 3 in a row for Blocker? Will Guerin strike again like he did last season? Or maybe this season's rookie phenom Damon Martinez will get his first win. Find out now as all the simulated Dallara IR18 racing action from the Fish Motors 200 streams your way live. It happens right here on the iRacing Esports Network. From the home state of Opie Taylor, hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast and the Sim Experience Countdown to Green. Over the next 15 minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to appreciate the Fish Motors 200 that will immediately follow as we indeed count down to green. Up in the booth to bring you our bird's eye view, it's former real-world IndyCar driver Richie Hearn, joined by yours truly, Bill Soupson. I'm Jed Yaman, as director duties armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. All right, Richie, high banks and a narrow track should have the racers driving all night, hands wet on the wheel.
Yeah, thank you, Soup. And here we are at Charlotte Motor Speedway, located, as you guessed, in Charlotte, North Carolina. As you can see on the track map, it's a D-shaped oval. This track is super fast, super narrow, and it's going to be exciting. We have basically 24 degrees bankings in the corners, 5 degrees on the straightaways, pretty much the same on both ends, but the really tricky spot is that double kink on the front straightaway where it really narrows down. These guys are going to have a handful all night long, and we should see a pretty exciting race. But the best way for your folks to really get a bird's eye view of what this place looks like is let's jump on board that GSRC lap guide.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel. I'm Brian Yazek, taking you for a spin today around the Charlotte Motor Speedway in the GSRC IR18 IndyCar. Without further ado, here we go. Charlotte Motor Speedway, very unique 1.5 mile oval for your hot lap. Kind of float it straight in there. The car is really going to want to push out from that point, but you're going to want to get down to that yellow line and bring it right out here towards the wall. Turn 3 is going to be a little bit tighter of a radius than it was in turn 1. You get down there, the car really wants to shove out, so the fast time is going to be whoever can keep those left sides planted on the white line. Now, as the run progresses, basically from probably lap 2, you're going to see guys all over the place in turn 1. You could run 3 cars wide all the way up here by the fence, get a nice hole shot out of the corner, get the sniff of the draft of the guy in front of you, and set up your turn, move into turn 3. Turn 3, up by the wall is a little sketchier, but you could probably make it work. Bringing it off through there, through the little trioval, across the line, and that's going to complete our track guide here around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm Brian Yazek. Enjoy the show.
And there we are, a lap around Charlotte Motor Speedway under the lights there. It's going to be real exciting. Lots of passing, lots of craziness out there. The Countdown to Green is brought to you by the Sim Experience, the team behind the AccuForce Pro V2 direct drive steering systems. By providing unparalleled realism and the most advanced tuning features on the market, the AccuForce provides a significant advantage to any sim racer. It can also make for an effective training tool for real-world drivers. For more information on the entire Sim Experience ecosystem, including their GS5 seat, Stage Series motion systems, and Sim5 software, visit www.simexperience.com and use the promo code SimXLion to get 5% off Sim5 software.
There you go. I'm going to give you 100% of the top 16 here in the points. Now, when we look at these points, these are the raw numbers. They do not take into account the 3 drop races allowed for in the rules. We'll take a look at those in a moment. You can see right there, I don't have a lot to say about this. There's not a lot of movement as we get to the back half of the season. See, everyone pretty much holding station. Kinsella gets around Goodman. Weaver and Larkamp up a spot. Hassard had a bad round. He drops a little bit. You can see all the numbers down there. Maybe the biggest thing to talk about is Samuel Ryman losing 4 spots down into 12th. Connor Harrington has been good all season. He sits in 11th. He couldn't race last time out because of PC issues, but hopefully I'm not talking about politically correct issues. He actually had a personal computer issue. Let's go ahead and look at those drop races. These are shown exclusively for the first time ever here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Honestly, there is not a lot of difference between the order of these names and the orders of the raw points. Really, the names are the same. Only the intervals have been changed to protect the innocent. You can see 50 points there. That's the drop race that Adam Blocker isn't allowed to score. So even if disaster strikes, he's still going to score 50 tonight. It's going to be hard for anybody to catch him. Let's go ahead and look at the team championship. I have a little bit more to say about this one. You look on there, not a single piece of movement going on, but I've done my research. We are going to highlight this team. NLR Sim Racing. They were 5th on the day last time out. You don't even see them on the overlay. They should be. They're tied for 10th. They have 776 points, the same as Controlled Chaos, but apparently Micus and Ryman have more pull with series officials, and these guys weren't able to get on there. How about Tyler Groff? He races for NLR Sim Racing. He came in 5th last time, and Isaiah Dupree chipped in points from 28th. Good job from them. All right, less controversial are the rookie standings. Let me give Richie a chance to talk about those.
Yeah, here we have the Lionheart IndyCar Rookie of the Year standings presented by Butt Kicker. As you can see, Damon Martinez leading the way. He had a great finish, his best of the year, 3rd at Monza last week. He's got a 43-point advantage. John Hill moving up 1 spot. He's also labeled as the cleanest driver of the series. But he's got a little work to do to catch Damon. Mike Rigney has dropped down 1 to 3rd. Brian Carey has moved up 2 to 4th spot. And Jenkins holds steady in 5th spot. This is going to go down to the wire, I think. This has been our closest points championship so far this year. Got a lot of good drivers, so this will be interesting to watch all the way down to the end.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the biggest name on there, Sage Karam. He sits in 6th. He's missed a lot of races, but plenty of time for him to make up the 96 points to get up to Martinez. Although Martinez seems pretty formidable. You know, the best on the best in the iRacing World Championship, as well as many of the top private leagues like the one you're watching right now, are showcased right here on the iRacing Esports Network. If you haven't done so yet, make sure that you subscribe. GSRC is proud to be part of the IESN stable of broadcasters. and talk about this series. It is considered the premier fixed setup racing league for the Dallara IR18 on the iRacing service, and the Lionheart IndyCar Series honors the memory of the late Dan Weldon. And Dan would certainly love this next segment, as it is time for Professor Pigskin's Setup Corner. Now, the Professor and Dieter are at a Bunsen burner convention, something going on there, figure out how those things work. So I get the honors of telling you about today's Setup Corner. And we're going to talk about, you see it right there as the professor climbing through the window there, we're talking about engine inlets. Apparently coming through the window is supposed to represent what's going on with the air getting into the engines. One of the most notable changes between the IR18 and the DW12 was the removal of that air box that was over the top of the driver's head, returning to the look of IndyCar that's been classic, the classic look that was back in the 1990s. Now, the airbox, however, served an important purpose, and it supplied the engine combustion chamber with a nice airflow to keep it cool. With the airbox gone, the air comes from the larger openings on the side pods. That makes a lot of sense. But the larger inlet openings on the side pod means that there's a lot of drag, which hurts the top speed. IndyCar teams select what variety of inlet covers they want to use for that opening. The smaller, the better. There are 5 choices to choose from. They have wide open, 38% closed, 54% closed, 70 and 77% closed. The last 2 settings are used only for qualifying because you don't have to worry about the engine overheating when you're only running a few laps. You pick an inlet opening that's too small and the engine's going to overheat, and boom, you pick one too large and you're going to be too slow. You're not going to have any straight line speed. So you got to figure out the right one to go for. Now, fortunately for the drivers here in the Lionheart IndyCar Series, it's a fixed setup. And so the series organizers come up with something that is speedy but raceable. Okay, something that is a little more straightforward is Richie, and he's going to talk about the series details.
Yep, and these series details come to us thanks to Minus 273, the premier name in karting gloves. For more information on Minus 273's full line of gloves and apparel, visit www.273.biz. Use promo code LHRS for 25% off all your orders. And here we are, the series details. We're working season 7. We're also running round 15 of 25. That's 25 events, but 25 races of 24 events. They did a doubleheader at Detroit. We're using the Dallara IR18, and just like he said, the setups are fixed, but they are adjusted for to make the cars a little more raceable. And we're always working on those cash and prizes totaling $9,652.
I don't want to get in trouble with the series organizers, so I do want to talk about the sponsors that brought those points to you there. Those driver points that came to you thanks to First Medical Equipment. And then we talked about the team championship. Well, that was thanks to the good folks at Plasma Tracks. And then Richie, when he did the rookies, he probably told you that came courtesy of Butt Kicker. All right, all of the homework is done. Now we can focus our attention to what's going on the track. And as we do so, I think qualifying is done. Are we going to the grid right now? Look at this. Got that done just in time. So let's go ahead to the grid, I guess. Is that correct, Director? Yes, we are. I'll take the front row here. Richie is going to be Connor Harrington, back from his hardware issue. He's going to be on the pole. Adam Blocker is going to be outside of him. Who's in row 2?
Justin Weaver is going to start 3rd. Right next to him will be Ron Hacker.
Strong row 3, Michael Goodman and Dan Guerin.
Brian Yazik's going to run up, start 7th here. And right next to him, our Rookie of the Year from last year, Steven Yellarkamp.
Brandon Lipkeman in 9th, and Bobby Mikas in the Von Hansen's Meat Machine.
Ken Hacker's going to be 11th, and right next to him, our Rookie of the Year leader is David Martinez.
In the Baker's Dozen position is Big Joe Hazard, with Dustin Wardlow outside of him.
Starting 15th will be Joe Branch, and right next to him in 16th will be Chris Stouffer.
Fan favorite Tyler Graff is in 17th, inside of the Bakerfield boy, Jason Gallup.
Brian Carey starts 19th. Isaiah Dupree starting 20th.
Hidden Blackjack, it's Paul Jankin. With a pair of deuces, it's Bart Workman.
Starting 23rd, Andrew Kinsella. Right next to him will be James Brandt.
Century mark belongs to Scotty Johnson. GSRC's own Samuel Ryman, outside of him in 26th.
Starting 27th will be John Hill, and next to him will be Robert Lewin.
28 drivers put in qualifying. These last 4 drivers did not. In 29th position, let me correct myself, 28th. So here's 29th, first one who did not. Tony Showen and Chris Lanini back there in 30th. And then 2 more. I'll just go ahead and take these as we roll the graphic around. Mike Rigney and Brian It's Not Easy Greenlee. 32 names out there today. That's a good number for an IndyCar event. You see them parked in. Looks like the drivers maybe are going to run across the track and jump in their car Le Mans style. No, they're just going to pull out there. Had my hopes up there for a while.
That would be pretty exciting.
Would indeed. All right, as they begin to roll, let's talk about the in-car cameras that we have, and we have 3 of them today. The first one is going to be Ron Hacker. He's in the Fish Motors onboard camera, family owned and operated since 1983. Fish Motors is proud to be Walnut, Illinois' Ford dealer. Find them on Facebook. We also have Stefan Larkamp in the Plasma Tracks onboard camera machine, original racetrack wall art, motorsports trophies, home decor, and motorsports fabrication. Plasma-tracks.com. Use promo code LRS2019 to get 25% off your order. And finally, we got Brian Yazik in the 00 in the -273 onboard camera car. Durable, breathable, lightweight racing gloves. I talked about racing all night, hands wet on the wheel. Not going to happen if you got yourself a pair of -273s. Check them out at -273s.biz.
I do have a pair of those, and they are incredibly awesome. So I encourage everybody to pick some of those up.
And fashionable as well. They look good with a tuxedo, or if you got yourself one of those little black dresses, they'll work with those too. All right. Pace car is going to pull in. We just have one parade lap here. We're going to go racing. The control is turned over to Connor Harrington. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. Connor Harrington, Mr. Excitement, out in front. Blocker in second. Weaver, Hacker, and Goodman round out your top 5.
Yeah, the fast way around this track is going to be right around that white line or white and blue line. And, we got Adam Blocker trying to make the outside lane work. I think it's going to be faster on the bottom until those tires wear out a little bit. But hopefully everybody takes it easy. We got a long way to go.
Plenty of time. We'll talk about the race analysis a little bit as it is 2 by 2 by 2 like animals getting on the arc. Harrington pulling away. Blocker in the blue car, trying to make that outside line work. Weaver has none of it. The Moby Dickies machine now in second. Blocker looking again to the outside. Goodman and Hacker out there second in line on the outside line.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a traffic jam out there right now. Everybody's running side by side. It's really only a 2-lane road, although you can make it 3, but it's a little tight. So everybody's stacked up behind the leader here and just trying to take it easy, but it's 2 by 2 by 2 all the way back as Adam Blocker pulls into the inside lane to drop down to 4th spot.
They're going to have fun until their daddy takes their tire grip away. And right now they are happy with how this is going. Moving to the inside. That is hitting slow. My goodness, that is Hacker. We're riding on board, looking back.
We got a caution out.
We got is a Carey involved in this one, Limpkeman involved in it. We're going to look at Limpkeman first.
You can see everybody stacked up there going in the corner, and there is going to be some little bit of close quarter racing. As you can see, looks like he gets hit from behind, spun out, and unfortunately wiped out a bunch of cars up into the fence there.
I think that was Tyler Groff getting airborne. There were a few of them getting off the ground. You said it, Richie. It's all the checkup. Watch the drivers from behind as they get woed up, and that's when the action starts.
Yeah, the first little accident really wasn't that bad, but then everybody checks up and there's nowhere to go. Especially on that front straightaway, it's so narrow and it tightens up in those little kinks that just sometimes you're just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. As we're on board here with Samuel Wyman. He was starting way in the back.
Boom. He was checking up to leave lots of space, and then he gets caught from the tail. We're going to look at this from Joe Hazard.
You can see how tight everything's bound up. So if that guy in front steps on the brake, there's nowhere for him to go. And then you can see those cars going into the fence, and unfortunately it's going to end the race for a few of these drivers.
I think Dupree, Groff, Carey, and Limpkeman are going to call it a night. We have several drivers pitting from farther back. Richie, I'll be honest with you. I had the pleasure of calling that Majors race the other night that you were in. 170 laps green flag. I've been kind of spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, this place is tough. I mean, even when you try to run clean, it's just so tight and it's flat out all the way around, and it's so narrow. Things are going to happen, and unfortunately, we'll kind of thin the field out a little bit and probably get to some long green flag running a little bit longer into the race.
Well, as the lights continue to flash on top of the pace car, let's take this opportunity to look at our race analysis, see how far we're going, how far can we go. And of course, the race analysis comes your way courtesy of Plasma Tracks. There you have it. We're going 134 laps today. Now, this is interesting. The max stint, they're saying 42. 48. I've done the math. 48 is your number. If you can get to 48, then you can do this in 2 stops. If you get enough yellows, that's a possibility.
Well, here we got 1 yellow already, and I think we're going to see that a little bit more at the beginning than at the end. I'm curious to see what the tires are going to do. I haven't done a lot of running myself here, so I know the bottom line is going to be the fastest way around, but you're also pinching that car down. So if those front tires start to wear out, you just start scrubbing speed. So it'll be interesting to see if how much faster new tires will be to 42 lap old tires.
Talked about not having the chance to race here. I'm not sure if IndyCar has ever come to Charlotte. Has your racing career ever taken you to Charlotte for any reason?
I haven't raced here, but IRL did come here for a few years.
Did they?
But they had a really bad accident. I think some stuff went into the stands, and then they stopped racing there. I mean, they race at Texas still. It's almost the exact same track, but they don't race at Charlotte anymore.
Take a look at a hard charger. I'd like to look at the driver currently in 12th. That is Jason Galvin, up 6 spots. He's got the car of Damon Martinez, our top rookie, in front of him. And a veteran, Big Joe Hazard, right behind him. 17 cars stayed out. Andrew, we're going live. We're going back to green. Andrew Kinsella, the top driver who pitted back in 18th position. All right, here we go. Back to green as Connor Harrington gets a nice jump. Weaver, Goodman, Blocker, and Hacker.
Yeah, with those single file restarts, this will help spread the field out a little bit, get them a little bit safer for a little while. We got Adam Blocker looking for a pass on Michael Goodman, but not quite able to make it. Justin Weaver doing a good job sitting in second position, and Connor Harrington doing his thing, just leading the field.
Brian Yosik was able to tuck underneath Dandy Dan Guerin to move up into 5th. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Justin Weaver's trying to make a move on the outside, trying to go the long way around Connor Harrington, not able to keep that momentum up, and he's definitely trying, but not able to make that happen. We do have some guys in the back in about 5th spot starting to go on the outside, so hopefully we can get that outside groove going.
Got 2 blue cars there. The one on the inside, that is Blocker. The one on the outside making the move, he is a coming. That is Brian Yosik. Move him up to 4th. He likes the top line. And next on his hit list, the New York driver, Michael Goodman.
Yeah, the draft's really strong here, so nobody's going to get away. As you can see them all stacking up right behind Connor Harrington. But the key is going to be, can you make that outside lane work, or can you sneak on the inside? That's where it's going to really come down to, and we'll see how it goes longer into the run.
We lost 4 drivers from that big incident. 28 remain. The last one on the track, Samuel Ryman. But the action is up front right now, where it goes all the way back to 14th position. Joe Branch, the last car in the front bunch. Joe, you may think you're far enough back to be safe, but you're probably maybe in the worst position at all, because it's going to close up on you pretty quick if there's a mistake.
Yeah, it's the one thing. If you're falling far enough back, it doesn't take very long. They're only doing 24-second laps, so Samuel Ryman's 7 seconds back, so it's not going to take 7 seconds behind the leader. It's not going to take very long for those guys to come around to you.
Brian Yosik continues to move. He's going to go 3 wide on the top side. He just got around Goodman. He picks up Weaver. He has visions of the lead, but Harrington will have none of that.
But he has been able to make that outside lane work, because he was about 6th position back a couple laps ago. and he's able to bring that that high groove up all the way up to third. Tried to get around Justin Weaver, but Justin Weaver just ducked down behind and got in the draft cutting. Here he comes again. He's got that momentum off of 2, but once he gets to right about the middle of the corner, as you can see, it just kind of dies out, but he does get that pass on Justin, and he's now sitting second. Boy, he's doing a good job. He's making me look like a liar because he's making that outside lane work really well.
Again, if they were open setups, I would say he's got the car dialed in right, but they're all racing the same machine, so this must be a comfortable pair of shoes for Brian Yazzie, who works the top side. Following him through is Dan Guerin. Working lap number 16.
What's real interesting is our points leader who started second, Adam Blocker. He's all the way back in 8th spot, so he's in a little bit of a danger zone, even though he has some drop races to give. Definitely doesn't want to give too much. This is where Dan Guerin kind of step on the gas and take a win, grab some points.
What do new tires mean? Well, apparently not very much, as all those drivers who came in for new tires, Kinsella, Schowen, Workman, those guys, they all sit right about where they started this second part of the race here.
I think it's going to come into play when we get to right about lap 35 to 45 area. I don't think it's going to big deal at this point in the middle of the race, but it'll be interesting to see if we get a late yellow, if some people take tires, to see if that makes a difference.
We continue to watch the fight up front because that's really where the action is. Yazzie doing all he can in that blue and black HPP machine, working on the outside of Connor Harrington. Harrington has led each of the 18 laps so far and gets credit for leading that one. Work lap number 19.
Yeah, Brian Yazzie still working the outside lane, trying to get around Connor Harrington. Connor doing a good job just hugging that white line. Dan Guerin's doing a good job. He doesn't have anywhere to go at the moment, so he's trying to pick a lane, but he has been able to get around Justin Weaver, so Justin Weaver has been pushed down to 4th spot, and he's about to get passed by, it looks like, Ron Hacker on the outside as well.
Another guy making some good progress through the field. Races in 6th. He's on the outside line. Now he touched in. I'm talking about the number 17 of Bob Mikas. Racing in 6th. He started in 10th, so he picks up a few spots. The car looks real good.
Yeah, the problem, like I said earlier, is it's not very wide, so when you got guys in front of you running side by side, there's nowhere for you to go, even if you do have the momentum, so you just kind of have to sit and wait patiently. As Brian Yazzie, he's going to sneak down on the inside here. He did the crossover. He's going to take that lead. And, maybe.
Oh, my.
Ooh, they got really close. Looks like they may even have touched a little bit.
That HPP machine does not like the bottom line like it likes the top. Boy, he really had to check up. Harrington did a good job of staying off of him.
Yeah, I was really surprised he couldn't make that pass. He's going to try again here. Going on the inside of him, going into 3. Looks like he's got him clear. Looks like he's going to take that pass.
He gets credit with leading the lap.
Yeah, we got a new leader there, although Connor Harrington's coming up along the outside here. You can see Dan Guerin trying to squeeze down Justin Weaver, trying to get to that inside lane, but he'll have nothing of it.
About halfway through a fuel stint for the guys up front. Keep in mind that we expect Andrew Kinsella to be your leader here in about 20 laps if they have to pit on a green. He has about an 8-lap cushion. Let's go back and take a look at those real quick. Let's drop back and look at Kinsella and where he sits right now and what's going on with him. Leader of all the cars who have pitted. He's right behind James Brandt, who did not make a stop. In fact, Kinsella has a nice gap over Tony Schowen.
Yeah, Andrew didn't have a good qualifying session, started 23rd, so there was no reason why he shouldn't come in. That really opens up his pit window, because if we do go a long green, that's going to help him out as long as he can stay out of trouble.
We expect things to start to settle down into more of a single file race here as the tires get a little bit old. We'll see if that actually happens. Yazzie again exploring the top line that he likes so well. A good run from Guerin in fourth, but he waits. Weaver looks to the low side.
Yeah, I do have Connor Harrington taking that position back. And honestly, I don't know if leading's the best thing for you. I mean, if you can just sit there and run behind the leader, lift and coast a little bit, save some fuel. Like you said, if you can make it in 2 stops, that's going to be a big difference in the end. So sometimes just plowing the air in front of everybody is not always the best thing, although it's the safest thing.
Galvin's in the wall. Let's get a replay of this, but he's going to keep it going.
No.
He was having a great run. He tried to tuck down underneath the driver. The air came off him, but he tries to go underneath Michael Goodman. He wants to go underneath Goodman, and then you fans can get an eye on this one. That's Goodman ahead. There goes Galvin underneath.
Yeah. Right down to the bottom and then right up to the top.
Come back live. He got a piece of the wall, but he kept it going straight. That's why we stay under green. But my goodness, Galvin's going the wrong direction now as he's down to 12th. He is getting freight trained.
And right now, Connor Harrington still holding the lead, but Justin Weaver's been able to muscle his way up to 2nd spot. He's been trying to take that lead away, but it's not. Connor's not letting him have it. So, but I'll be interested in seeing what the difference is in the fuel strategy just by running in the lead the whole time or being able to draft most of the time.
James Brandt made a pit stop. Not quite sure what that's all about. Again, Kinsella is the leader of all the cars who have made that stop. And I don't want to jinx it because I'd like to see some green flag stops, and we're not that far away from it. Figure around lap 40, I'm going to think 45 as far as these guys can go. And at 24 seconds a lap, 13 laps away, you can do the math.
Yeah, we're working lap 32. We did have some yellow, so that's going to add. It's usually 2 laps for every 1 lap of yellow that you can add. It's usually about the average. So about 3 laps of yellow, 4 laps. So give or take about 6 to 7 laps. And they are lapping Samuel Ryman now. So unfortunately, he's been stuck in the back with no draft. So he's been kind of running around at a little slower pace. But, that's just, unfortunately, he got caught up in that first wreck.
Car probably not all that healthy. Richie, when you were racing for real, were there times when the yellow came out that you were just glad to take a break, just catch your breath?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes you're begging for a yellow, but what you don't want to do is go, man, I sure hope a yellow doesn't come out, and then you're the yellow. So yeah, it does happen sometimes. Sometimes if your car's working not so good, you just try to get to the hit that fuel window, and you're just hanging on. And when that yellow does come out, you're like, oh man, thank God.
Battle for 9th position back here.
Yeah, our Rookie of the Year leader there, Damon Martinez, started 12th up to 9th. He does have a hungry Big Joe right behind him. Not too, it's a little bit of a gap to Michael Goodman in 8th spot, but looks like we got a little separation there. So we got everybody's kind of stringing out. I think we might be seeing a little bit of a reflect of maybe the tires wearing out where they can't just run right behind each other.
We're riding on board there for a little while with the Plasma Tracks onboard camera there from Stefan Larkamp. Look at that battle, kind of a tale of 2 cities there with Martinez, the rookie, and Big Joe Hassert, the veteran.
Yeah, right behind.
Now we're looking at Justin Weaver.
I was just going to go right behind them. It's got Steven Larkamp, Joe Branch trying to make a move, and Christopher running really close to each other for 11th, 12th, and 13th. Looks like Justin Weaver's just kind of hanging in there. He just keeps poking his nose, although here he goes. He's going to try to take that lead away. Brian Yazik has fallen back just a little bit, so it's just a battle of 2 up front. We do have a new leader.
And it is The Moby Dickey's machine of Justin Weaver getting underneath Connor Harrington for now. He's going to get credit with leading the lap. He does indeed.
We'd have somebody going through the grass on the looks like they lost it.
Oh my goodness, yeah, out of 4, a great catch from Guerin. As he does a little.
Yeah, it might be a little telltale of maybe the rear end of the car is starting to get a little light. You can see how the track flattens out, and he just loses it, slides through the grass.
I think he had to take a tow.
Oh yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah.
It's really too bad.
He hit the wall hard indeed. I didn't catch the beginning of it. Yeah, sure enough. Great job of driving, though. I think his night is done. Back live at the line. Who's going to lead that one? Boy, they were nose to nose at the line. How about 2 1/1000ths of a second is the interval Harrington had over Weaver as they fight to be who's going to be first down pit lane.
We're getting close to that window. We're at lap 41, although I'm going to assume they're going to be able to go to about lap 44. Lap 40. Oh, no. Connor Harrington's coming in. This might be a result of him leading all those laps.
Indeed. Remember that we expect Andrew Kinsella to be able to stay out there for a little while, for about 6 or 7 laps. He'll be our leader.
He's made his way all the way up to 12th as well, so he's done a good job starting 23rd all the way to the back to 12th, so that pit stop really has helped him out.
Yazik says it's time to come in. So now we have 2. Big Joe Hazard coming in as well. Weaver stays out.
Yeah, Weaver's coming through 3 right now. We'll see if he comes into pits. Doesn't look like he's going to. He's going to stay out one more time. So those guys either not getting as good a gas mileage or just not feeling good about the car, the way it was handling. But Justin Weaver is able to stretch this out. And what was the number you said they got to get to?
48 is the number to do it on 2 stops. We'll see how this Weaver's going to be coming in this time. Here he goes. I don't think these guys are going to be able to do it. Kinsella's going to be in good shape. Micah's now is our leader.
Yeah, Andrew Kinsella's got about 5 laps on these guys as far as the last pit stop.
Joe Hazard cycles out right next to Kinsella. We're looking.
I'm going to say Adam Blocker stays out. So he kind of was dropped back in the pack. It probably saved a lot of fuel, so he's staying out. He's going back to the top of the timesheet.
Weaver makes his pit stop, comes out.
Here comes Adam Blocker. The leader's coming in. Now Joe Branch takes the point. He's gone 47 laps since his last stop. Andrew Kinsella, if that's correct, then Andrew Kinsella is going to go to like lap 55. Sorry, lap 52.
And there comes in Branch. And so as expected, Andy Kinsella have a catch. The Canadian driver picks up the lead for a little while. So let's go ahead and talk about these drivers who are on this strategy. Kinsella, Schowen, Johnson, Lanini, Rigney, your top 5. Excuse us for some technical difficulties as we're going to go blank. We'll do this old school. Mike Rigney makes a pit stop from 5th position. One of the drivers that have made that stop earlier. Kinsella stays out.
There's a real good chance we could go a long green flag. I mean, everybody's separated out. This is going to really play. There's going to be some differences, although Andrew Kinsella is coming to the pit lane now, pitting on lap 49. Lap 50, basically. So that gives you an idea how far you can really go.
Would have preferred him to go a little bit farther. So that gives Scotty Johnson the lead now. As
Yeah,
Connor Harrington just goes around, and Connor Harrington gets his lap.
He's
Sorry,
coming in.
Richie.
Yeah. No, I was going to say Scotty Johnson's coming in too. So he's going to go one lap longer than Andrew Kinsella. But like I was saying earlier, if we go green for a long time, this is going to be really interesting as we get to the end, because when you guys when they come into the pit stop, they're always waiting for the fuel. The tires don't take very long. It's the fuel that you're waiting for. So just having a short fuel at the end could be a big difference on where you finish.
So that gives the lead now to Justin Weaver. And Weaver has made his stop. Weaver was able to better. Oh, no, we got a caution. Damon Martinez, our top rookie driver, out of corner number 4, made a little bit of contact with Steven Larkamp.
Yeah, that's going to really... Well, everybody's pitted so far, so that's going to put pretty much everybody kind of on the same strategy, close to it, because you can save enough fuel here. But unfortunately, Damon Martinez, a little bit of contact there, sent him out to the outside wall, and that's going to be the end of his day. He's got some heavy damage. Although he's right at pit lane. He lost the front wing and the engine cover. He should be able to make it down pit lane. Oh, no, the car's crabbing quite a bit, so he's going to be done.
Give him a hammer and butter. Yeah, it's a tough shot. So the rookie gets put into the wall from last year's top rookie, Stefan Larkamp. To be honest, there was not a lot of contact there. That looked a little worse than it needed to be. Well, Martinez, maybe before he leaves, maybe we can talk about our spotlighted driver. It was Damon Martinez. He's got 14 career starts. We were hoping he picked up his first win here tonight. That's not going to happen. Does have 3 top 5s. Now, his first race was this season, the season opener. His best finish, he's done that twice. He had a Bell Island and then last week at Monza. 10th in the points currently, with 14 laps led this season.
And we do have some takers here. Justin Weaver's going to stay out, but Brian Yozik and Connor Harrington are coming in. Justin Weaver did get that lead by having the fastest pit in and out lap. That's really the key. I mean, the pit stops are the pit stops, but if you can come in fast and especially out fast, that out lap is really the key to getting to passing some people.
So as the lights are on the pace car, we'll have an opportunity to take a break. Don't go far. We'll be back before we go green.
The SimPit is an entertainment channel dedicated to the world of simulated motorsports. The SimPit is a leader in providing the sim racing community with news, reviews, interviews, DIY pieces, and instructional videos to make sim racing a better experience for all. Check us out at thesimpit.com or go to YouTube and just search for the SimPit.
Stream beside your place into your place from Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is Global SimRacing Channel's Round 15 coverage of the Lionheart IndyCar Series 2019 Championship coming your way on the iRacing Esports Network. You know, if you're in Walnut, Illinois area and you're in the market for a car, family owned and operated since 1983, Fish Motors is proud to be Walnut's Ford dealer. They take pride in offering the highest quality of used vehicles. The superior condition of their vehicles combined with their competitive pricing makes Fish Motors your one-stop shop, tirelessly working to ensure your complete 100% satisfaction. Fish Motors is not comparable to shopping anywhere else. Check them out on Facebook. Right now, somebody who's happy with his car is Justin Weaver, as he is out in front. They're cheering at the Moby Stickies right now. Everybody tip your waitress. Ken Hacker in second. Adam Blocker. Oh, I'm sorry. Ken Hacker is a lap down. All right, here we go. So it's Weaver out in front. Ken Hacker is the buffer between him and Adam Blocker. Micus and Ron Hacker. There's the Hacker I was looking for. Back in fourth.
Yeah, back under green, we got Justin Weaver taking lead. We got Adam Blocker getting around the lap car and getting right on the gearbox of Justin Weaver. Really, what's interesting right before when that yellow flag came back is where Connor Harrington and Brian Yazik, they pitted. So they're back in 13th and 15th respectively, but that's really going to open up their windows for the second and maybe their final pit stop.
I like this idea of pitting. That's right, because they're thinking ahead. And we could be due for a long green flag run. We could get to the end on a green flag here. We've lost a few drivers. The herd has been thinned. Drivers have settled down. The adrenaline has worn off, and we get a long stint, and they'll be good to go.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a pack up here. We got Justin Weaver, Adam Blocker, but we do have the lap car of Ken Hacker right in the middle of this with Bob Micus trying to get around him. And then right up top is going to be Andrew Kinsella is going around the outside here.
Yeah, now if you're wondering about Ken Hacker, remember there's no NASCAR lucky dog here. He's fighting to get that lap back. He's got to do it the old-fashioned way. The car's got good pace. He's racing right there with Blocker. Mike is watching everything happen. Ron Hacker back there, Goodman. Larkamp, after making contact with Martinez, the car seems no worse for wear. He races in sixth. And then, Richie, there's Andrew Kinsella. We've been documenting what he did. He came in for that early stop, sitting in seventh.
Yeah, I know that really helped him out because he had pretty crappy qualifying for his normal positioning. So he's made his way through strategy right up there to the top 10. So, but he's right in the bee's nests, as you want to say. It's quite a mess up there up front. Stephen Lark or Justin Weaver trying to hold everybody back is doing a good job, but behind him it's 2 by 2 by 2, about 4 rows deep.
Great camera shot there. A driver to watch who was really fast was Brian Yazik. He is now in 10th. He's kind of in there with Harrington trying to work his way up.
You have Adam Blocker trying to make a move on the outside, trying to make that second lane work.
Now he gets a run side by side. Weaver, like Harrington earlier, wants to hang on to that lead.
Yeah, you can see him dipping into the draft and then pulling out. He just can't quite get the momentum to make that move because once they get to the turn, now he's got to go the long way around and loses all that momentum. So he's almost got to just try to sneak it on the inside and really get in there. Although right now it's probably not that big of a deal. You're just trying to see what you can do in case it is a one-lap dash to the end to see if you can get. All you got to do is be across the finish line, right? You don't even have to be leading until that very one spot.
Don't have to make the pass into corner number one. You just have to be First to the line. Ken Hacker now begins to drop a little bit as he goes to the outside and they're getting underneath him. His fellow Hacker goes below him. Going to bring with him Have a Catch Kinsella. Oh my, getting a little tight back there.
Yeah, the first 4 cars are all kind of single file, but when you get back to around basically 7th, 8th, and back, man, it's tight. We got Ken Hacker, trying to keep his positioning so he can get that lap back. But
yeah, we're on the battle right here. This is down low is Branch, up top is Larkamp, and then behind them are the guys who are really quick. Yazik and Harrington. Oh, with a head of steam was Dustin Wardlow. He waits. Tony Schowen now down low. You got 4 cars who would like to go somewhere, and you got 2 cars blocking the way with Branch and Larkamp.
Yeah, Brian Yazik and Connor Harrington look like they've hooked up a little bit together and running that outside line. They're making their way up to the front. They're definitely on a different strategy with fresher tires.
They're coming right at you. Boom, 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 boom. Working lap number 69.
Adam Blocker still keeps trying to make that outside lane working, but he just can't quite get there. He pulls out right as they go into the corner. It's just not the way it's going to work. But he does have the momentum at the minute, but I think he's just trying to see if that's going to work if it comes to right down to the end. We got Bob Mikas trying to almost make it 3 wide there at the moment.
Right on
Bobby
board
Mike.
with Blocker.
As I say, give a shout out to Bobby Mikas starting 10th all the way up to 3rd, although Andrew Kinsella is our big mover from 23rd all the way up to 5th.
It's been a real slow cook for the meat machine there as he's just little by little picking up spots.
Now with this, not a lot of yellows, this race is going by fast. We're already working lap 71, so we're past halfway. If he keeps going this way, one more stop will do it.
Weaver and those guys been out there for 27 laps. We figure they can probably go another, I'm going to give them 15, 16. Let's call it 17. All right, let's talk about a hard charger. Let's go to the driver currently in 11th position, Tony Schowen. Started in 29th. He's right behind Harrington and Branch. This riding along. As you ride on board with him, you look up the cars ahead. That car on that blue car on the top, that is Yazik. He's just not been able to make up much ground. They finally clear Larkamp. So now Yazik and Harrington can set sail to the guys up front. Schowen sits back in 11th. Make that 10th as he goes around Joe Branch. 3 wide! Oh, and I jinxed them, but they keep racing.
Wow, that was, you couldn't get any closer. You can't go 3 wide through that kink. But somehow they made it, but there definitely was some contact.
Branch got in the wall. I'm sorry, Schowen got in the wall. Then bounced off it. Came down and got into Larkamp.
Yeah, that was man, that was hairy right there. Yeah, Tony gets up a little bit high, comes up, bounces the wall, and then comes down on top of Steven. Fortunately, they both keep going.
I hear them watching on the post-race rebroadcast for them. I said, no problem, Soup, I had it. Riding on board with, that'd be Michael Goodman, I believe. Up, it's Kinsella, looking up. Moving to the outside is Micus. That car down low is Goodman. They almost get together. That is the battle for third. Driving away is Weaver and Blocker.
They did do the crossover there. So Bobby went to the bottom and Goodman went to the top. That's going to give a spot to Bobby. Andrew Casella kind of watching the whole thing. But we have 2 cars up front, then a gap, then 2 cars for third and fourth, and then a single car for fifth. Connor Harrington and Brian Yazik has made their way all the way up to 7th and 8th, so they really muscled their way up to the front. Now they got about 8-lap advantage on the front group here as far as fuel goes.
They did work the way up there, but it has not been an easy trip for either one of them. Sometime Yazik has been in front of Harrington. Right now it's versa versa with Harrington out in front.
Yeah, Connor Harrington's kind of pulled away from Brian Yazik. Right now, Brian Yazik's fighting off Joe Branch for that 9th position. It's really interesting to see how just the momentum, when they go in the corner, you think they got the pass made, but then they just lose that momentum right in the middle of the corner, and it just doesn't happen.
Goodman trying to get around Micus, yeah?
Yeah, obviously these guys have been going back and forth between the inside and the outside. Bobby Micus had the position. Now Goodman's got it back.
These guys up front will be first to pit if we do get to the window. They've got about 4 or 5 extra laps than Kinsella. Boy, I'll tell you, just a few minutes ago, Paul Jenkins had a close call. Not sure if we're going to be able to find it, but he continues to race. He got put into the wall. Continues on, though. Last car on the lead lap is Paul. Be right on board with Goodman. Nope, let me correct myself. Von Hansen's meat machine, you can see it right there. Gotta be nobody else other than Bob Micus. Come at you. Working lap 84, well past halfway now.
A lot of single file racing going on right now. We do have Adam Blockers now kind of falling back a little bit from Justin Weaver. Wasn't able to make that pass. Michael Goodman and Bobby Micus, same thing. They were going side by side. Now they're single file. So everybody's just kind of selling in. Brian Yazik's still trying to attack Connor Harrington. He's caught back up to him, trying to take that position from him. And then that's all pretty much single file.
And remember, we expect Harrington and Yazik to inherit the lead when the pit window opens up. They have about a 6-lap advantage on the rest of the field. They currently race 7th and 8th. Kinsella with a smaller advantage. But Weaver, Blocker, Micus, Goodman, they should be coming in here momentarily. And if being out front has anything to say with it, Justin Weaver.
Yeah, here he comes.
And here he is.
Yeah, right there as you said it, he's coming in. Adam Blocker's going to go around one more time at least. I think we've seen that a couple times. If you're the leader, you definitely come in earlier than everybody else. And Adam Blocker's going to go around one more time. So he was definitely able to save some fuel there. The key is Connor Harrington and Brian Yazik. They're the ones that are about 8 laps earlier on their pit stop, or later, I should say.
Weaver comes out in 19th position. 1 lap down.
Yeah, he definitely used a lap, about a lap and a half when you come in to pit under the green. So that in and out lap is super important. He was really fast last time on that. That's how he got the lead. See if that plays out as they cycle through, as long as we don't get a yellow.
And that's why pit strategy is different as Bob Micas comes in on a small oval, or hard to say this one's a short oval, but only 24-second lap times compared to larger ovals like Pocono or Indy, where you might be able to make a stop and not lose a lap.
Adam Blocker's going around one more time. He's done, this will be his, he's coming in this lap. So that's 45 laps on his run. He's bringing everybody behind him. Oh, we got somebody in the wall in the pit lane there. I don't know who that was, but they locked it up and hit the pit lane wall. Whoever was in the back there, that back car, that dark black and red car.
Not able to see it. Jason Galvin makes a stop.
So that has put Andrew Kinsella back to the top of the list here. He's working lap 44. Going to maybe come in this lap. But Connor Harrington and Brian Yazik, boy, that pit stop under that last yellow, I think, is really going to pay dividends, because they're going to be able to go a little bit longer, maybe catch a yellow, and take less fuel. So, it's all about that distance on the track.
Yeah, well, here we are. You can see up there where we have it's lap 94 of 134. So the guys who are out there now can do this they come in for their stop and they're good to go. Not sure if that's the case for the guys who've already stopped.
Yeah, it'll be close for them, but like I said, it's all about when you're on a track like this, it's all about spending the least amount of time on that pit lane, because everybody's flat out. So, Connor Harrington, Brian Yazik, they're going to have to take less fuel than everybody else, even Andrew Kinsella to some point, although he's about 5 laps longer than those two. And here comes Andrew. That's going to put our pole sitter right back up to the front of the list with Brian Yazik right behind him.
These are the guys that topped off last time on the same strategy with them as Tony Shallon. Not really. Shallon should be coming in pretty soon.
Strategy.
Did I say that? Coming in now.
Oh, here they come. I would have thought they'd be able to go maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, I would have gone longer just to see if we could catch a yellow and catch some of the guys a lap down, but they come in with 39 to go, so they are good to go from here.
We'll see how they come out as opposed to our previous leader, Justin Weaver. He was the first one to pit and was the leader at the time. Clean stops from both of them. They come out of the pit lane. There goes Adam Blocker. So didn't really gain much of an advantage. Here comes Andrew Kinsella. So they're going to pretty much slot in right about where they were.
Justin Weaver is our race leader by 4.5 seconds. So if I would say anyone benefited from those stops, it would be him. But he's been out there for 10 laps, and there's 37 to go. Justin, you can't get there from here.
You remember when you said, hey, is there any time you're actually begging for a yellow flag?
Yeah.
He is begging for a yellow flag. I don't think he's going to be able to make it without a yellow flag.
Now, Micas has been out for 9 laps. You add that to 36. I don't know if he can go 45. That's really pushing it as well. He might want to start thinking about doing that now. The problem is, for these guys who want to try to stretch the field, there are guys that they don't have to worry about it. Kinsella and Harrington will just gobble them up.
Adam Blocker is right on the limit, I think. He's got 8 laps since his last run. We've got 34 laps to go, so he's going to be right there, be able to make it. Connor Harrington and Brian Yazik, they're good to go. They're not going to have to save any fuel. So we'll see if that makes a
Right.
difference as we get near the end.
Right. There are 3 drivers that I feel comfortable can race full song: Kinsella, Harrington, and Yazzie.
Yeah, definitely.
And right now they are, well, here goes Kinsella underneath Harrington right now.
Yeah, he's got Connor. Oh, yellow flag. Here we go.
Paul Jenkins. Paul Jenkins got into it with Big Joe Hasser. Oh, not by much. Big Joe,
looks like,
you were clear.
Yeah, and then he just kind of weaved out to the outside edge and then came across. Looks like they touched a little bit, and then he just got a little light and came across the nose of Paul and wiped Paul out.
I'm good. And oh, they make contact.
Just a little bit of contact, and then he just kind of loses the rear end, and that was it. Paul's got some damage, but he can come in and fix that. He'll just be on pit lane for a little while.
So now.
Yeah, here's the yellow that they all needed. Well, we only got 16 cars on the lead lap, so, you know, if I'm sitting like mid of that, you know, 5th on back, although Justin Weaver's coming in, it doesn't hurt to come in. I mean, I don't think it's going to make a difference. You might as well just come in, top off, good to go, fresh tires, let's race it.
Weaver was so far away from finishing. He actually, maybe this yellow flag, he might have needed this and maybe one more. So he's going to come in for fuel. What we'll do right now is take a short break. We'll sort everything out after the pit stops. Oh, we're going to stay here for a minute. Wait to see how this sorts out. I can tell you that Connor Harrington stayed out.
Justin Weaver brought in most of the pack. Yeah, Connor Harrington didn't need to pit. Although Brian Yazzie, he pitted, so he wanted some fresh tires, but I don't think it's going to make a much difference. I think I would have just pitted. If I saw the leader come in, I think I would have just come in as well.
And now we work through the pit stops. Everybody comes out. I can tell you that Brian is not easy being Greenlee sits in 3rd. Not sure if he'll be there when we come back from break. He may come in for a stop. Brian, stay out there, baby. You've earned it. We're going to take a short break here on the Global SimRacing Channel, coming your way on the iRacing Esports Network. Don't go far.
The Sim Pit is an entertainment channel dedicated to the world of simulated motorsports. The Sim Pit is a leader in providing the sim racing community with news, reviews, interviews, DIY pieces, and instructional videos to make sim racing a better experience for all. Check us out at thesimpit.com or go to YouTube and just search for The Sim Pit.
You're watching the Global SimRacing Channel's coverage of the Lionheart IndyCar season, round 15 from Charlotte, coming your way on IESN. You know, we're riding on board with Brian Yazik. He's good to go to the distance as he rides on board in the minus 273 onboard camera. Minus 273 industry-leading gloves are super lightweight and durable, made of breathable polyester spandex. Whether you're a karter or a sim racer, minus 273 gives you the control to reach victory lane. For more information on minus 273, full line of gloves and apparel, visit minus273.biz. Don't forget to use the promo code LHRS for 25% off your order. How about Tony Schowen? How about Brian Greenlee? How about Scotty Johnson? They all stay out. Gridded in 29th, 32nd, and 25th, respectively. They race second, third, and fourth behind Connor Harrington. Harrington gets a big jump. Now there's a couple drivers trying to get their lap back. Jason Galvin is second in line. He's the first car one lap down. No, let me correct myself. He is 5 laps down. Jason, find a place to hide, baby. Tony Schowen dips underneath.
Yeah, here he goes.
Yeah.
Oh, through the grass. He's going to try to get that lead, that lap back by just going through the grass. That probably startled Connor Harrington a little bit, but that stacked everybody up behind him.
Harrington, Tony Schowen now making a run. Started in 29th.
Oh, no! Big wreck, and that looks like Adam Blocker is involved in that as well, our points leader.
It is indeed. It was Scotty Johnson who was out there staying on old tires, got into a blocker. Cars right behind him, Bob Micas, Michael Goodman.
Yeah, it's Scotty Johnson. We had Justin Weaver on the bottom. And, man, it just looks like everybody... Oh, it looks like actually Bobby Micas got into the back of Scotty Johnson. I don't know if Scotty had to lift because the car just wasn't working right, but that's what caused everything.
Yazik gets into the wall. A lot of big names taken out of this one. Dustin Wardlow is collected in it. Chris Lanini gets a piece.
We got a lot of cars damaged that were running up front. I don't know if we can go to the nose or the front of the car of Bobby Micas, but that's kind of what started it. It looked like to me. He's right there in that red and white car. And he just kind of gets into the back of right here on Scotty, and that just turns him right into Adam Blocker, and that's it.
Go one more from above, and I believe Bob Micas probably gets away with this one okay.
Yeah, he does have some damage on the front of his car, so he'll have to come in and get it fixed, but he's definitely going to be able to continue on. But it does take some big hitters out of the game.
Oh, indeed it does. I just don't think Brian Yazik is going to be able to come back from that one, although he gets the car around somehow to pit lane.
And Adam Blocker's still out there. He has some damage to the front of his car. I don't know if he's got more. He hasn't come into the pits yet, but we'll see if he continues on. But he does have a healthy gap as far as even in the drop points.
Yep. So, Connor Harrington out in front. Tony Schowen, Brian Greenlee sit second and third. Another fast car all night has been Justin Weaver in his Moby Dickey machine. That sits in fourth. Then I go back, and honestly, I look down here, I see Joe Branch, Ron Hacker, Mike Rigney. Not sure if those guys have the speed to get up there. Can we take a look at the driver in eighth right now? This is Scotty Johnson. Not sure if his car looks like it does on my screen. There we go.
Yeah, he's missing a few parts. He's going to come into the pit lane and try to get that fixed.
Look for his
It's
feet.
interesting to see, like, our points, the way our points go. A lot of those guys really got taken out. I mean, Michael Goodman's probably in the best spot as far as gaining some positions. He doesn't have any damage, sitting 11th spot, but well, a bunch of the guys in front of him have definitely taken a hit.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Connor Harrington. The rap on him from the very beginning is he's been quick, but if there's a problem to be had, he'll find it. Well, he's out in front right now. He is 23 laps away from his first Lionheart victory. He's got nobody in front of him but the lovely Medina Mendes in the pace car. The drivers behind him, no disrespect to the Tony Schowen and Brian Greenlee fan club, but you wouldn't think that qualifying in 29th and 32nd, they were a threat to get to Harrington. So, Connor, put it simply, this is yours to lose.
Yeah, and Tony Schoen and Brian Greenlee also are on older tires than everybody else. A couple laps to Connor, not that much, but the guy to watch probably is Justin Weaver. He's run up front already tonight. He's sitting in fourth spot. He's only got 8 laps on his tires, so he's probably the one guy who can try to make a move, but he's going to have to get by Schoen and Greenlee. If those guys start racing side by side, there's nowhere to go.
Report that Brian Yazik somehow is still on the lead lap in 15th position, just racing for points. Car looks amazingly healthy for the being in the catch fence. Andrew Kinsella is out there.
Yeah, he's still out there as well. His car looks good. Adam Blocker's out there, but he's coming in the pit lane. He's got to get some damage repair. He's missing some parts, although he came into the pit lane and he's coming out.
Yeah,
he's stopping the car.
He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
When you got yourself what I like to call pocket points, and he's got 50 of them in his pocket. That's his highest unscored event. Sometimes you just call it a night, score those 50 points, and move on to the next round. The lights are off the pace car. When we come around, we'll have an ace and a face card worth of laps to race. And looking to get paid 1.5 times is Connor Harrington.
Yeah, Connor looking for his first win. This is going to be a big restart for him. There's a couple of guys that are doing really well, but I think his eye is going to be on Justin Weaver. Justin's going to have to make quick work.
There goes, as expected, there goes Harrington. Let's keep our attention on the driver in fourth. We expect Justin Weaver to be pretty quick. He's got Brian Greenlee in front of him and Tony Schowen after that. Tony Schowen doing a really good job of staying on the back of Harrington. Don't sell me short soup. I got a car to win this thing.
Well, he almost made a pass for the lead early on. He went through the grass. So
Here he comes.
Here he comes. He's going to have to go around the outside, but he's got a fast car. He's going to bring along everybody else. As soon as they go side by side, you can see how it stacks everybody up. Not able to make that pass just yet.
Here comes Brian Greenlee underneath. Harrington loses momentum. We've got ourselves a dogfight here with 20 to go.
And we got Joe Branch jumping into the mix as well. So we got the top 5 all digging around, and man, Tony Schoen's dropped back a little bit here. He's lost that position. Now it's Brian Greenlee's turn to see if he can get by, but there is Justin Weaver right behind Connor Harrington like we talked about.
Greenlee on the top side, but without anybody to draft on. He falls back into 4th position. Getting underneath him now, the dark red and black machine. That is Joe Branch. Looking to the inside, that's Harrington. On the outside, it's Weaver. There's the 2 cars that we expected. They are punching a huge hole in the air for Tony Schowen.
That front spot not changing, but it's mixing up pretty good right behind him. We got Joe Branch now moving up to the outside, trying to take that 3rd spot from Tony Schowen.
Charlotte is narrow, and there's just not any way to make it 3 wide. Or is there? Joe Branch says, don't worry, if there's room, I can do it. Harrington hugging the inside line. Weaver on the top side.
Yeah, he's not going to give away that white line all the way to the end. He's going to make these guys earn it from around the outside. He's doing a good job holding off Justin Weaver, but Justin's doing a good job trying to. Oh, here comes Joe Branch. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. Oh, no!
Oh! Branch could feel it, and he backs out as there was contact between Harrington and Weaver. Now Weaver goes up on top again. Joe Branch doing a little crystal ball racing.
Oh, they get into each other there on the straightaway between Justin Weaver and Connor Harrington. Connor Harrington gets a little bit sideways, but nothing, no harm, no foul. But Justin Weaver's really trying to squeeze him down, try to hold him down to the bottom, make him bind that car up so he can have the momentum to go around the outside. Here comes the rest of the pack after that little bit of 3 wide action. Tony Schowen, Connor Harrington's going to give him the inside now. He goes up high, going to go give Justin Weaver. And we'll see what happens here.
One of the drivers up front, he is back. It's Andrew Havakech-Kinsella. Weaver out of front now. Now Weaver guards the inside. Harrington forced to go high. He tried to make it 3 wide last time. Let's see if Joe Branch does it this time. There might be room to the outside. Branch says, no, I can't make it work.
Yeah, you can see Connor Harrington protecting that outside lane and trying to go around the outside of Justin Weaver. I don't know what happened when he gave that inside line. I don't know if he washed up, but I definitely would have probably stayed on the bottom all the way to the finish.
Schowen says I could win this if there was just somewhere for me to put the car. Another great run, now dipping down low is Branch. Branch looking for somewhere to go. Havakech to the top. Kinsella is back.
Great run by Andrew. Starting way in the pack, took advantage of that first yellow flag, really strategized himself up there, but he's got a fast car at this moment. Legitimately in 3rd spot. He's earned that spot and he's looking for more.
Ron Hacker in 6th. Brian Greenlee has fallen back to 7th after having a taste of the lead for ever so briefly. 10 to go.
Yeah, right now we saw Tony Schowen try to peek on the inside of Andrew Kinsella. Andrew likes that outside lane. He's not protecting that inside at all. So his car is definitely working better up in the higher groove, keeping that momentum up. Justin Weaver all by himself on that bottom lane. I don't know if tires are starting to come into play where you're kind of starting to bind it up a little bit and maybe running the outside lane keeps the momentum higher.
Branch has fallen back now. Now the driver trying to get in there is Kinsella. He watches the 2 cars in front. Weaver on the low side. To his right is Harrington. Those 2 drivers continue to take up all the track. Nowhere to go.
Eight laps to go. Brian Yozik looked like he might have brushed the wall or something. He's falling back. These guys run side by side. There's nowhere for Andrew to go, although he's looking to that 3rd lane, but there is no 3rd lane when you come off the corner down the front stretch. It's pretty much right back down to 2, so I don't see that happening without a big wreck.
Another run from Havakech. Kinsella back there in 3rd. Now he tucks back under to get a tow. Again, nowhere to go. He's going to have to force it. He's got a huge head of steam, but he has to check up. Schowen in 4th.
Yeah, you can see he got right on the back of Justin Weaver going to that corner, had the position, but had to back out of it as the car washed up. He almost hit the wall on the outside of 4. So it's really tough to stay in the draft and on that white line. I think that's why you're seeing all these guys going around the outside lane.
There'll be 5 to go as they come across the line this time. Now, they don't have to lead down into corner number 1. It's all about who leads at the lap, at the start-finish line, and that time, it's going to be Justin Weaver. Harrington trying to figure out, can I win this race from this line? Can I get a run off of 4 and beat you to the line on the final lap when the white flag is waving?
So far, it's been just about Justin Weaver in front every time. There's just not enough of a run from 4 to the start-finish line for Connor Harrington to get that work. But, man, I'm watching these guys get closer and closer to that wall at the exit of 4, so they're pushing these cars as far as they can go, trying to free those things up, keep that momentum going.
We are at the point of no return. A mistake now will end the race. There will be no yellow flag if we get the white flag across the line. One more time. Again, it is Weaver at the line, but only by 7 1/1000ths of a second that time. Kinsella dying to find a place to put the car. Cannot do it. Now a great run from Schowen. Schowen says, have a catch. If you're not going to take a shot at this one, I'll do it.
Yeah, and then he drops down below and takes the air right off his wing. I don't think they can run in the draft and run on the bottom line. It just really takes away that front grip. The only way you're going to make that pass is to go around the outside. The only person who can run on the bottom is that leader.
Kinsella laid back. That time Harrington laid back out of 4 to get a good run down into 1. He's a lot closer out of 4 this time than he was ever before. He gets a great drive off. He clears Weaver. Maybe he didn't, but he leads at the line. White
wow, that
flag.
was quite a move. That was a power move for Connor Harrington, right for going for his first win.
Weaver loses all sorts of momentum as he loses a ton of time. Kinsella now moves into second, but I think he's too far back. Out of 4, looking to pick up his first win of his career. It goes to Connor Harrington at Charlotte.
Wow, that was exciting. Let's watch that replay for the pass, because that was definitely a power move. He didn't have it, but he just made it happen. So let's bring up the replay for that. And, man, nice job. He really got that momentum. It was the key getting off the turn 2, getting side by side before they even got to the corner. And then you can see he's kind of just got that momentum, and he just kind of cleared him. I think he just pinched him down enough where he just, scrubbed enough speed off. He just got the full move. And I think once he took the air off his front wing, he just really Justin lost the grip and fell back to 3rd.
Indeed, that was all set up from the lap before in the corner number 4 when he laid back and got the run into 1. Was side by side down the back straight, did the power move out of 4. Got the white flag lap and brought it home for the win. Congratulations to Connor Harrington. Kinsella gets 2nd. Justin Weaver will have to settle for 3rd. The racing is over here in North Carolina, but our broadcast is far from done. We'll take a short break. We'll come back to run down the entire finishing order before we talk to some of the drivers and wrap up by putting a lock on the gate. Back in a few. You're watching GSRC on IESN.
The Sim Pit is an entertainment channel dedicated to the world of simulated motorsports. The Sim Pit is a leader in providing the sim racing community with news, reviews, interviews, DIY pieces, and instructional videos to make sim racing a better experience for all. Check us out at thesimpit.com or go to YouTube and just search for The Sim Pit.
Welcome back to the Fish Motors 200 and the Plasma Tracks Victory Lane post-race show. If you're struggling to find something for the person who has everything, do I have the website for you? Plasma-tracks.com not only produces original racetrack wall art, motorsports trophies, home decor, and motorsports fabrications are also available. Words cannot do justice to the uniqueness of their wares. The only way to fully appreciate their artwork is to see it for yourself. But be warned, one visit and the next thing you know, you'll be trying to convince your spouse why you need a Plasma Tracks wall art hanging in your home. See all the Plasma Tracks products at plasma-tracks.com. Use promo code LRS2019 to get 25% off your order. And now here is 100% of the HPP finishing order for the Fish Motors 200 that just saw Connor Harrington gets the win here from gridded in first and comes home in as your leader, and was able to outduel Justin Weaver. Weaver will have to settle for third as Andrew Havakech Kinsella was able to sneak around for the Cinderella bridesmaid position. Tony Schowen in fourth with Joe Branch in fifth. Back half of your top 10, that's Ron Hacker, Michael Goodman, Brian Greenlee, Mike Rigney, and Stephen Larkamp. And let me correct myself, of course, these race results are brought to you by the good folks at the Sim Pit. Richie?
Yeah, coming home 11th spot is going to be Robert Bluen. 12th is going to be Chris Lanini. Scotty Johnson is going to be our last car in the lead lap in 13th. First car lap down. Ken Hacker in 14th. Bobby Mikas in 15th. Brian Yazik, unfortunately, was running up front. Had a little incident at the end. Finishes 16th. Bart Workman, 17th. John Hill, 18th. Paul Jenkins, 19th. And Samuel Ryman finishing 20th.
Jason Galvin will have to settle for 21st, a spot ahead of our points leader, Adam Blocker. Fear not, he has plenty of pocket points to burn. Dustin Wardlow, the Candyman, will have to settle for 23rd ahead of Big Joe Hazard. Our top rookie, Damon Martinez, not the day he was looking for, 25th ahead of Chris Stouffer. Dan Guerin took a trip through the green grass, and he had to call it an early night. He gets 27th. James Brant's behind him. Brian Carey, Tyler Groff, Isaiah Dupree, and Brandon Limkeman round out your 32-car field. With that said, it is interview time. And am I able to talk to? Yes, indeed. We've ran down Connor Harrington. Oh, Connor, I thought that the race was yours to win. You look to be in great position, but my goodness, they did not make it easy on you.
No, I've only been doing this for about a year, and they never make it easy. It is so amazing to finally get nailed down a victory. I'm honestly almost speechless. It was a great race.
I'll be honest with you. I saw you out in front of that last run. You were there, and then you had Shawn and Greenlee behind you. Not the biggest names. They qualified 25th or worse. Man, they made it rough. And then the big guys got there. Kinsella was there giving you all you could want. And Justin Weaver was fast all night.
Yeah, it was really interesting how the strategy played out. And, Brian Yazik and I decided to make a pit stop under yellow when the whole field had just stayed out after a long green flag cycle. And that kind of put us in the window to make it on only one more stop. And then, of course, the caution came out, and I was the lone guy to stay out, and it kind of jumbled the field up a little bit, and it made it interesting. There was some lap traffic there. The guys that were really fast were starting 5th, 6th, 7th, and we were kind of hoping it was going to go green. I could just run away and hide, and that would be perfect. And it never works out that easily. So it was. I have to give my hat off to I tip my hat to Justin. Justin raced me extremely hard and so clean, and that's exactly what this series is about, and that's what I love about this series. That's why I raced this series, and I got to give major props to him. He raced me great the entire night, and it was the most fun I've had driving a pretend race car, ever. So
we'll get you out of here on this one, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I want to know. I really thought the key to your victory was out of corner 4 with about maybe the 2 laps to go, where you laid back and you got a good run down into 1 rather than trying to be side by side. And that gave you a good run down the backstretch.
Yeah, the tires were starting to give up. I mean, out there on the outside, I think I had the throttle zip tied down to the floor. There was no way I was lifting, and the tires were just starting to give up. And I knew if I could hold Justin down there a little bit, his tires are eventually going to give up just that little bit faster than mine, and that will make us kind of even on tires and maybe give me a chance to make that move around the outside. Luckily, the draft is so strong in the IR18 that we're able to pull up and race close like that.
You knew exactly how long your car was in the back and how short his was in the front as you came across the nose, but it was clean. Great pass. Congratulations on your first win, man. Long time coming. Well deserved.
Thank you very much. I just want to give a quick shout out to my teammate, Stephen Larkamp, our NHR esports team owners, Nick Rasmussen and Alex Janssen, Cranfield Simulation and Nyman Racing. They've been great partners with us this year, and we're really happy to have them on the car, and we're excited to get them their first win.
Well done. Keep it up. We'll see you down the road. Connor Harrington, your winner here at Charlotte tonight. Richie, who you got?
We got Andrew Kinsella here. Andrew, man, not the best qualifying spot you could be in, but that first yellow flag when you came in and kind of got off a different strategy really helped you out.
Yeah, you know me, I can never qualify worth a darn, but had a good race. Just was trying to keep out of trouble for the first half of the race and put myself in a good position, and pit strategy allowed me to do that. If it had gone green, would have been really happy. I think I picked the wrong strategy with when Connor stayed out there, but it worked out in the end, and couldn't quite get by him on fresh tires. They were going too wide, but it was a good finish.
Yeah, no, it was an exciting finish for us to watch, and that strategy at the beginning really helped you get kind of leapfrog some of the guys, and so you didn't get caught up in some of the mess, and that was definitely key. But at the end, man, you had a car to race with, but we could see that those two guys were side by side. You were trying, and there was nowhere to go, and it really looked like you kind of had to go around the outside, that the car just wasn't able to hold that bottom line in the draft.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I could hold the bottom line okay. It was just the problem was once you get up behind the two, because I was able to pass both high and low coming up through the field, but once I got behind the two of them, I basically, if I was going to go around them, one of them would have to make a mistake, or I was going to have to take it 3 wide, and I didn't really want to take it 3 wide until about 5 laps to go, and by then my tires were gone, at least in terms of controllability for a 3 wide situation. So I just sort of sat back and let them race, just tried to stay in the middle of the track, not let Tony or Joe get too big a run on me, and just see what happens. And I was able to get Justin when he made a mistake coming off 4 with 1 to go there.
Yeah, Connor kind of put the power move on him and kind of took all his momentum away. Well, Andrew, really good job. It's been a while since we've had you in the booth here, so I know you're happy with that second place. Obviously, first would be the best, but you got to be happy with that finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely glad to be back. And shout out to minus 273 gloves. Got them from my Indy 500 win. And man, these things are awesome. This was the first time I was able to get them up on the podium and mention how happy I was with them. Same with my butt kicker, Gamer 2, that they sent me a couple of really great pieces of equipment there. So definitely check them out if you're in the market for some good pair of gloves and great simulation enhancer with butt kicker.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I got a pair of those gloves and they do work great. Well, Andrew, nice talking to you, and hopefully we'll get you back in the booth for the next one.
Thanks, Richie. See you soon.
And finally, I'll get to talk to the driver who finishes in third position, Justin Weaver. Justin, so close to the win.
It's so close there. I thought we were going to put a little Dickie in him tonight with that Moby Dickie's machine. She was dialed in tonight. That's for sure. Man, it was so fun to be up there amongst the leaders there, just battling it out, just having a great time. Just up front. Car was awesome. Car was really awesome. Really enjoy Charlotte. It's a good track to run on there. It gets pretty tight out there, obviously, but it's a great track. And then the battle there with Connor at the end. I mean, that's kind of what it's all about. All about there, two guys just racing, giving all they can get, and racing for the win there. So, and he got me there at the end of it, and just I kind of screwed up the entry there, coming into 3 on the coming to the white flag. Missed my mark there by about 2 inches there, and kind of screwed me up. So I had to kind of flip the throttle there, and that's all it took to get him around me. And then I was just in damage control after that. But kudos to Connor. He drove a heck of a race, and he deserves every bit of that win there.
You made a good run through the field to get up to him because he started in the front, and then he had drivers like Shawn and Greenlee between you and him. Just getting there was a job.
Yes, that was definitely got a little exciting there. I mean, to make passes here, you had to be incredibly aggressive, and you did have to have a little luck there, just the way the traffic flows there. But I figured, I'll just keep it on the bottom, and because obviously the bottom was the preferred line most of the race, so I just tried to keep it on the bottom. And then if I saw a hole on the outside, I had to run. I was just going, all right, well, let's just zoom right past him and just get behind Connor there, and then once he kind of slid up a little bit, and I was like, well, there's the bottom. There's what I want. So I just went ahead and took it. And that's where I thought once I got it on the bottom, I figured I could, keep him on the bottom there. And I thought it was going to be, a photo finish there. But he did a hell of a job just to get to the outside and get back around today. So like I said, kudos to him.
The move looked great on the broadcast. I think you'll enjoy it when you watch it on the rebroadcast. So you guys put on a great show. Congratulations. We'll see you down the road. Sorry you didn't get the win today, but man, you put on quite a show.
Appreciate it, Soup. It was really fun. So appreciate Moby Dickie's, Dickie and Gina there at Moby Dickie's for putting their name on the car. We appreciate it. So we'll have a few cold ones there to kind of debrief. So, and also thank Men's Construction for being on the car as well. So appreciate it, guys.
All right, congratulations. He gets third place today, doesn't get the win, but he was really entertaining. That's going to wrap it up for us. Let's go ahead and thank the people that made this possible. Got to thank First Medical Equipment. They've been the source of medical supplies and equipment in the Burlington, Iowa area for years because of their superior commitment to provide the absolute best in product quality and customer service.
Sim Experience, the team behind the AccuForce Pro V2 direct drive steering systems. By providing unparalleled realism and the most advanced tuning features on the market, the AccuForce provides a significant advantage to any sim racer. It can also make for an effective training tool for real-world drivers. For more information on the entire Sim Experience ecosystem, including their GS5C, Stage Series motion systems, and Sim5 software, visit simexperience.com and use that promo code SimXLion to get 5% off the Sim5 software.
Butt Kicker, baby. Their products add instant immersion to any game, unlike a subwoofer that moves air. And you know what? It loses accuracy and force. Butt Kicker products move actual mass, producing a haptic immersion that's powerful and accurate. Butt Kicker products add that missing driver-to-car connection, bringing more realism and immersion to your sessions. See all the family of products at thebuttkicker.com. Use this promo code LION25 to get 25% off your order.
To contact any of the sponsors you see on the screen right now, go to LionheartRacingSeries.com, click on 2019 sponsors, read or scroll to the bottom where you can click on the company logo. The iconic original music that lets your ears alert your eyes when you're watching the GSRC production comes courtesy of June Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact her. On the screen now are just some of the companies, equipment, and software that make this broadcast possible. The Lionheart IndyCar Series returns in 3 weeks, September 18th for round 16 from Michigan. GSRC and IESN will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us.
And now when you look at your screen, you'll see some of the upcoming broadcasts. So check those out and mark them down on your calendar. You want more information about us? Here's what you do. GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. We also have social media options. How about Facebook? Global Sim Racing Channel, Twitter, GSR Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Graham. Hey, and if you haven't done so yet, head over to our YouTube page and become one of our subscribers by hitting that big red button. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that would be Richie, Amjed, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching as we saw Connor Harrington pick up his first career win here in the Fish Motors 200 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.